Hello everyone, Matthew here from Elra Insure. Just on my daily, well, I should say bi-daily really, because I only do it every other day. But just on my sort of bi-daily walk during lockdown, trying to get some exercise in. Working from home does give you a little bit of cabin fever. So yeah, just trying to get out a little bit. But sort of every time I go on a walk, my brain just starts ticking and my mind just starts ticking of sort of ideas, what I can do, sort of different avenues I can go down. And I see a lot of businesses on Facebook and in the local community, and they basically just try and improve what they're doing. They're trying to adapt, they're trying to change, keep up with the times. But also as well, what I sort of like about it is they try and help their customers, which is good. I mean, they can't survive without customers, and I guess, vice versa. So I was hoping to try and follow the trend a little bit and follow suit, just while I'm walking in, just to provide some sort of insight really on what I do, what I'm about, what I'm passionate about. But to be completely honest, I'll throw a slight disclaimer, I should say, out there first. The purpose of this video is just to provide insight. I'm not trying to entice you to be a customer of mine. I'm not trying to coax you in to get a free no obligation quote, to try and twist your arm. Whether you come to me, whether you go, to Joe Blogs, because there are lots of protection advisors about. I don't mind. The purpose of this is just to fill my time while I'm walking. I'm up to date on all my podcasts. My Spotify usage is through the roof. So yeah, I thought this would just be of slight benefit really. But yeah, I'll go straight into it. I'm trying to start a mini video series really on just like importance of protection, different things to think about, and sort of just food for thought. But one of the main aims is to try and do this all in one take. So I don't want to edit any videos, because I can't stand editing videos. But also as well, to try and just to get it to be as real as possible. I want it to come across my genuine thoughts and feelings. And if I edit it, I'm obviously going to try and edit it in a different way, I guess. So yeah, just want to do it all in one take. So I'm not sure what to call, what I'm doing. Call it this, I guess, is episode 1. But whether I call it quarantine walks, lockdown walks, exercising with Matt, I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'll think about that. But for now, we'll just call it episode 1. But one of the few things that I talk to clients about is hypothetically speaking. So if I talk to somebody, and whether they've got life insurance or income protection or critical illness, or whether they've got nothing at all, it just ask them hypothetically what would happen. So I mean, hypothetically, if something was to happen to you and you were to leave your family behind and your loved ones, what would happen? And just run through that scenario in your head. So I mean, for some people, I know I can't really what's the word I'm looking for, I can't really direct it to your personal circumstances, because I don't know who you are, I don't know who's watching, I don't know your circumstances. With any clients, I go through a fact find with them to tailor policies around them. So I guess if you're renting with a partner and you were to pass away, then not only have they lost you, which is bad, the worst thing, but they've also lost your wages that come into the household. So are they still going to be able to make those rent payments? I don't know. Council tax, your utility bills, all those other things. If you were to pass away, is your partner still going to be able to afford the place where they're living in? And if they are, fantastic. If they're not, then hypothetically, you've just passed away. They're obviously going to be quite upset at this moment in time. They're going to be mourning for you. But what they're going to have to think about additionally is perhaps moving home, going to somewhere smaller, more affordable accommodation. So they're going to have to move out of the home that they've lived in with you, that they've built memories in with you, and go to somewhere smaller, more affordable. Now, moving home is stressful enough as it is, let alone when you've just lost a loved one. yeah, so I can't imagine that. So, you know, a lot of people have life insurance to protect against that, and you know, they have sort of policies up until retirement age, so when their income basically stops. So if anything does happen, then they're still able to live in a home that they've built memories in. Same with mortgage. You know, something happened, are they still going to be able to afford the mortgage payments? I was reading an article today actually that if you have a joint mortgage, then your surviving partner, whoever you've left behind, can still pay that mortgage. That's no problem. But you know, only if they can afford to. But and a lot of people have done this as well, is if you have a mortgage but it's just your name on the mortgage and you have someone that lives with you, it's sort of, you can't sort of think, I know we've got some bicycle people coming now. Hello. Hello. That's my worst fear, that was. Trying to record this while someone was coming past. Probably think I'm really strange. But yeah, if you have a mortgage on your own and you have a partner that lives with you and you were to pass away, the person who you've left behind, whose name isn't on the mortgage, they can't then just pick up those payments. They can't call your mortgage provider and say, you know, so and so's passed away, but I'll pay these payments, don't worry. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, because you haven't passed the affordability checks. They haven't given you the mortgage, they've given it to your partner. So if it's not paid off, then the bank your mortgage lender could sell the home. Again, the home you've built memories in and the home that you've lived in. So some quite stressful times, you know. One of the worst times pretty much in anybody's life is if, you know, somebody close to them or a loved one passes away. So imagine adding that burden on top of where you're going to live, how you're going to live, which is quite sort of detrimental, really. So yeah, I mean, sort of the purpose of this one is just hypothetically speaking. So just put yourself in their shoes. So, you know, if you passed away and if you left your loved ones behind, just hypothetically say what would happen, what would you envisage that would happen. Are they still going to be able to live in the home? Are they still going to be able to afford all of the bills? If that's the case, fantastic. But you know, if you've got kids, is the surviving partner going to be able to work, going to have to work reduced hours to do the school runs and stuff like that? So that means their income is less because they're going to have to work less hours. They may have to stop work altogether to look after kids. Who's going to pay for your funeral? Because, you know, funerals are quite expensive these days and we're always told that the costs are rising. So just simple things like that, really. You know, if you know you've got no savings and stuff like that and you were to pass away, sort of, I think, you know, you can get a really cheap cremation these days, and I'm talking no service, no wake, no, you know, nothing at all. You just get cremated, basically. I think you're looking at just over £1,000 for that. But is that the send off that your family's gonna want to give you? I don't know. Probably might be the send off that you want, but you're not around to make that choice anymore. So yeah, you know, is that the send off that your family's going to want to give you? But also as well, have they got that £1,000 to scrape together to pay for it? I guess. And some people say, you know, don't worry, if there's no money, the council will look after me. Yeah, that's true. The council will pay, but they will reclaim the money off you, and they will sort of do sort of things like debt proceedings to pay for it, and you'll have to do a payment plan, and sort of things like that, and they will chase your next of kin for the cost of that. So again, stressful times. So yeah, I'll call this one episode 1, and I'll call it Hypothetically Speaking. I haven't decided on a series title yet, but I'll do it all in one take. I want to try and keep them to about 10 minutes long because I don't want to sort of bore you. I think 10 minutes is enough for you guys. But imagine speaking about death all day, every day, which is my job. Yeah, but I mean, for me, although I do, talk about death all day, I do have a sense of pride about it. Really, as strange as it sounds, because I do like to think that sort of I'm the reason why people's mortgages are paid off. you know, if their loved one passes away. And the reason why sort of, you know, people are still able to afford to live if they're off work and they've sort of, you know, they've broken a leg. I know they've got a monthly lump sum every month until they're able to get back to work, or, you know, if they're off work for things like mental health issues, that they're covered on their income protection policies, and that pays them a monthly lump sum, so every month until they feel comfortable that they're able to go back to work and they don't have to return to work too early, and you know, and they don't, you know, their mental health issues don't get worse because they've got to go to work earlier for financial issues. So yeah, I mean, it is morbid, but it is worthwhile. So yeah, hypothetically speaking, if any of those things were to happen, if you were to die, if you were to gone through, you know, if you were to contract a critical illness, things like cancer, heart attack, stroke, I think I'll probably, in the next couple of times that I do this, I'll focus on a critical illness one, because I've done a few webinars with different providers this week, and everybody's really sort of explained their critical illness sort of definitions and their critical illness product really in depth, and there have been some changes. So when the insurers do change their product, I like to have webinars with them just to keep up to date and have refresher sessions to see what's changed, because I can sort of pass that information on to you guys. So yeah, hypothetically, if something was to happen, death, critical illness, off work because of an accident, illness or injury, just run through what would happen. If you need advice, yes, I can give advice on protection. Some people can't, they work on a non-advice service, and that's fine. You know, at least then you can make your own mind up, I guess. But I do give advice. If you want anything, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. You can go, you know, elsewhere, no problem at all. It's just sort of really, I guess, to fill my time and yeah, pass the time, and just to provide some insight. If I can, you know, change somebody's life insurance policy so it does pay their full mortgage off, or if, you know, this video leads to somebody improving their policy to make sure they've got a more comprehensive level of cover, if it's with me or if it's not with me, then yeah, I feel like I've done my job. So yeah, that's episode 1. I'm approaching the main road now, so it's going to get really noisy, so I'll clock off, and hopefully I'll see you, you know, sort of, you'll see me soon. But if you've got any ideas on what you'd like the, you know, this to be called, insightful walks, I don't know, food for thought, quarantine walks, lockdown walks, I don't know, just drop me a comment, I guess, and fill me with some ideas. I've already gone over 10 minutes, so I'll stop now. Hope you're all staying safe, hope you're all staying staying indoors, saving, you know, even if you are staying indoors. I know it doesn't seem, you know, it doesn't sound important, but you are saving people's lives by staying indoors and social distancing. If you do go out, you know, you may be passing a virus that you don't know you have to somebody's grandparents, so somebody's parents, and same vice versa. If you're going out, somebody might give it to you, and then you're spreading it through your family. So stay safe, stay indoors, and we'll all get through it eventually. Yeah, thank you.